Hey guys, what's up? Valley Flying here. I am back. Welcome to the channel. And today, going over the top 10 free-to-play characters for the month of July. And I got a special guest joining me. Pa Pokeman, what's up?
What's up? I'm excited to talk about free-to-play characters with you.
So let me pull up last month's list. We'll talk about that real quick because there's some changes that went on. So Deadpool is number 10, Night Nurse number 9, Kingpin number 8, Drax number 7, Crossbones number 6, Gamora number 5, Hawkeye number 4, Captain America number 3, Yondu 2, and Quake number 1. Now, guys, I have not given him the list for July. He is going to be surprised about this as you guys are, and you're going to get his reactions as I unveil this. So, before we get into July's list, do you have any comments about last month's list?
No, I think this sounds pretty. It sounds pretty. Now, Deadpool would be a little weird because he's
he's not making the list this month. Not because he's not a good character, but he's not free to play anymore.
Yeah,
there's no way to farm him. So he's definitely not going to be on the list. So somebody has to move up, and maybe a couple people. So, all right, are you ready to go?
I'm ready to see this.
All right, so let me clear off this old list. Boom, it is off, and let's get into it. No introduction. We're good already. So number 10, boom. We got Drax.
You moving him all the way down from 7 to 10?
Drax got moved down.
Ooh.
And my reason is he's got those taunts in the beginning. He's got that pre-taunt, and then he's got that taunt on his first turn. After that, he doesn't do much. So if you dispel that first one and you dispel that second one, Drax is just kind of a stick in the mud there. He's not really doing anything there. But if you have a team that can't dispel those taunts, or you have multiple taunts and then you don't have a dispeller, he's going to be very annoying and he's going to wreck your team. That's why he still makes the list. But yeah, other than the taunts, he doesn't offer much. What are your opinions on Drax at 10?
No, I could see him getting moved down. He's very good at a certain place in the meta, but I definitely think there are a lot of new characters come in the game that can provide a lot more throughout the entire battle than Drax could. So yeah, I could see him being moved down.
Yeah, I mean his resistance is real low too, so it's an easy taunt to remove. The only thing is he's gonna have a bunch of buffs on him. So if you go in with a character that has one dispel, they may or may not remove that particular taunt buff that you're trying to get off. But other than his taunts, he doesn't have a lot. He's got a little bit of drain and a chain, but not so much in my opinion. So he still deserves a spot on the list, just not. He's been consistently moving down in my eyes.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
All right, moving on. Number 9, boom, Carafe the Pursuer. He's new on the list. He hasn't shown up on any list that I've done previously, and he is at number 9. He is one of the characters that I hate to face the most. He's got his ultimate available on turn 1. He is going before everybody because he starts with a speed up buff and he's already fast. So he's going before Black Widow. He's going before Gamora. He's going before Black Panther and any other fast characters in the game. He's just really annoying, and he's going to apply heal block, potentially applying ability block, or on his first move, his basic, he has a 90% chance to do stun, all in that first move. So you got choices with him, and he's got some utility there. Doesn't have as high damage as some of the other big damage characters, but really hits hard, and he's very farmable.
Very.
What are your thoughts on Carafe?
That's an interesting choice. See, I think the problem I've always had a negative sort of opinion of Carafe, because I remember I first picked him up. I was like, this guy doesn't do a lot of damage, and I immediately set him back down. And as slowly through as I've been playing the game, and as I've been looking more and more at status effects and sort of the meta, I can see Carafe's use. I've seen how his taunt has been really useful as the game's gone on. How the fact that you can just still target whoever you want. You know?
Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. On his second skill, you have a taunt that he can apply to someone. So
that's the best part of him, in my opinion. I think that's great how he can. I mean, essentially, say there's Night Nurse, for example. You just don't want to deal with that healing. You can just, who cares that they have a tank? You can just taunt Night Nurse and take her down without Deadpool. So this is kind of maybe a replacement for Deadpool if you're looking to take people out through taunts.
they do, both of them do some interesting things to get around taunts. And Karat's way is by applying a taunt to somebody else that you want to target. So you put that on a squishy, one of their big threats. The rest of the battle is a little easier for you. So good character, not very farmable. He only has one node unless you pass that cosmic stage. So it's a slower farm, but he's a good character, worth the investment. Plus, he is that mercenary tag, so he will be valuable to you in that payday event as well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, but you beat me to it.
All right, anything else on number 9, Carafe?
No, but I remember the first time I played him and I saw he applied taunt. I was like, well, why would I want to apply taunts to tanks? Those were my young days in Marvel Strike Force.
Don't do it on a 10. But that heal block for me is just so annoying, especially when you're facing him in the raids. Is bad. So anyway, let's move on. Number 8, boom, Kingpin. He stayed the same exact place. He stayed the same exact place as last month.
Yeah, no, Kingpin's
very good character. A little harder to farm. That boss's orders is deadly though. Offense up, defense up to everybody.
Yeah, he's really especially with crossbones. He synergizes very well with the AoE for crossbones by a defense up, so he crossbones test less damage from it, and then offense up, so it's even better. I hear he's like one of the best characters for defense teams, Kingpin.
Yeah, he's on the defense meta right now. I would put crossbones and Yondu are a deadly combination with Kingpin because you get offense up on that second turn. You're getting Yondu with his Yaka era going to do a big AoE attack to everybody with that offense up. And then the next turn you got Crossbones coming with his detonate. So you got 2 big offense up AoEs happening right back to back. That could wreck a team. I don't want to face him on offense. And he does I don't want to face him when I'm fighting him on defense. And I don't want to... I like it when I'm using him. So he's a very strong character, very farmable. Not going to be your main damage dealer. He does have that protector tag, but he's more of a support character. He makes the rest of the team better. And then he has those minions that come out with taunts, and it helps to protect the rest of your team from some damage. They're not there to do damage. They're there to take damage, and they're gonna die. But if it's not an AoE, you've at least wasted 2 turns from the enemy with those 2 minions. So very, very valuable character. Once you get that villain stage unlocked, I recommend farming him and building him as soon as possible because he's gonna be a huge asset to any villain team that you run because of his passive as well, giving extra turns. And I think he does that on his I can't remember if it's his basic or his second turn, but very, very good supporting type character.
Yeah, no, I think 8's a really fair place to put him since because he needs to be with other people that can take advantage of what he provides. So I think 8's a really nice place for him.
Yeah, I mean, when you get Kingpin alone in a one-on-one battle, I mean, this is not a problem. But when you surround him with the right team, he is a huge problem. And you got to plan for that move. You got to plan for that boss's orders because he's very slow, but he's going to get that on his first turn. So you got to be able to stop him, or you got to have a way to deal with that, or the rest of his team is going to wreck you. So very, very interesting character that you really need to plan around. Let's move on. Number 7, boom, Hand Century. When you talk about annoying, this guy just makes the other team so annoying. You can't dispel his taunt because it's kind of a reverse taunt where he's everybody else is in stealth, so you can't remove it. So you gotta attack him. Only way is to try to beat him, but he's got some decent speed already, so it's hard to beat him to that stealth. There's not a lot of stuns available right on turn 1. Got to do something, and he's protecting the rest of the team. And when you have him on your team, he's getting that evade to everybody as well. So very, very good at protecting, and I hate facing him. He's part of that arena meta defense team as well.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Hand Century?
No, I think that's a fair place to put him. The only thing that might hurt him is with Wasp. She can attack stealth targets, but would they still be safe because they'd have evade from it? So how would that work since because they're stealthed and evaded, but then Wasp attacks stealth targets with her AoE?
Yeah, Wasp kit is definitely a counter to Hand Sentry, so that's one negative check mark for him.
But she's not out yet.
But
So.
yeah, and she's not even available yet. So and I'm predicting that she won't even be out till the middle of the month. So you get a whole few weeks that Hand Sentry is just annoying you, and then I don't even know if everybody can unlock Wasp at the time at the rate that these Ant-Man shards are going. So he's gonna be in the meta for a while. He's going to be on that team. So, any other thoughts on Hand Sentry?
No, that's about all I have to say about Hand Sentry. I think you covered all.
Another first timer on the list as well.
Good for him.
All right, number 6. Boom. Ah, boy, crossbones. More of this arena meta coming up.
No, yeah, Crossbones is arguably one of the best characters in the game for arena.
I mean, there's not much to say about him. He's got the big detonate. He's got a taunt that helps him with some counters to make him, you don't want to attack him if your guys are really low on health, and he's got an okay basic. He's got the biggest AOE in the game, and if you have him offensed up with Kingpin or someone like that, scary. I don't want to face him. I don't want any part of Crossbones if he has that offense up.
No, I think you cover it. I mean, Crossbones he can be. That's all I have to say about Crossbones. That detonate.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple as far as what he does, but he does it so well. I don't know if there's much to talk about with him, but
there's not a lot to cover.
He's just really good. He's got that really one good move, and that is such a good move that it bumps him up to this list here.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely fair for Crossbones.
All right, number 5. No surprise here. Gamora. She stayed the same. She's still a strong character. One of the best damage dealers in the game. Very, very solid. She gets her full turn meter on a kill on her ultimate and her special. So she could wreck a team. She could take out 3 people in one turn and just totally change the tide of battle. Very strong character, huge offense. Her base stats would not indicate that she does as much damage as she does, but her kit is so solid. One of the best characters. I would recommend farming her from that Blitz store as soon as possible. Probably the number 1 character in that Blitz store.
No, the only thing that might be a little scary for Gamora is it's been data mined that Black Panther might be coming to the arena store, and with the new 100%, with the new pass, if 65 comes for the level cap, then you can upgrade the passive again, and then Black Panther, I believe, gets 100% speed bar on kill. So Gamora just might want to be scared of Black Panther coming around the corner.
They actually work well in a team together. Mm-hmm. Black Panther is not as bursty as Gamora though. Gamora, Gamora's you could take someone from their green and their health bar and kill them on that on her ultimate move. Black Panther,
it's a lot of
he can do that, but his burst damage is not as high. Where he's really gonna shine is on a minion team where you could just take out minions right away. Mm-hmm. Because his is going to last and last and last. Gamora, I think, works well in most teams. And they actually work well together. You get a Black Widow and Gamora on that team, and you pair them with enough protection. Mm-hmm. That's a big threat once they get going. On like turn 2, turn 3, once some of the enemies are down and once they have their skill charts, they're a big, solid threat. But anything else on Gamora? Because she's one of my favorites as far as damage goes.
I think that's pretty much all to cover for Gamora.
Cool. Well, let's move on. Number 4, Hawkeye. He's still there. We talked about him on your tier list video. You actually moved him up to S tier finally. I've been wanting you to do that for a while on your list. Awesome character. Huge AoE with blind. So most of the characters are going to miss their next turn if they get affected with this. But my favorite dispel in the game because it actually does 3. It removes 3 buffs, and most of the other ones are 2 or 1. So most likely getting that taunt off if you're using him for that. And he's got a strong passive that can affect targets in stealth and start to attack them right away and removing that stealth. So against the hand team, against Black Widow, against Elektra, And anybody else that goes in stealth, I can't think of them off the top of my head right now, but very, very solid. So good character.
Oh, shield operative, but you're never really gonna be fighting shield operative. Like she can invis people, but
Yeah, that's true to protect them. There's probably a few other people that I'm not thinking of, but Hawkeye's very good. What do you think about his placement at 4? Same as last month.
No, I think that's a fair place. My favorite part about him is his. Well, first of all, I like that with he's very reliable. Like I'll have my teams get blinded, but like everybody's just gonna be busy hitting at air. But then Hawkeye still keeps on going like nothing's ever happened. So that's always nice to not have to worry about Hawkeye getting, he's falling behind because of the fact that he's blinded or something like that. And I think he can apply blind to everybody, and I think that's also awesome.
Yeah, he does not get blinded, and he applies blind. And I gotta be honest, guys. Sometimes I forget about that blind and waste an AOE or waste one of the big moves. I'm like, oh shoot, I wasn't paying attention to that. So when I'm playing fast, I'm not paying attention to everything. That has screwed me up a few times there. So Hawkeye, number 4. Now number 3, boom, it's Yondu.
You're moving Yondu down.
I moved Yondu down. And not so much from what Yondu does, but from what a slight buff that some of these other characters that in number 2 and 1 got. Great character. I mean, what is if you should start farming Yondu from day 1. You need to farm Yondu. He has that cosmic tag and will help you in that. He has that villain tags, will help you in that. And the meta for arena is right here. The arena defense. Kingpin. Hand Century, Crossbones, Yondu. You put Black Widow or Merc Lieutenant in there, and that is a hard team to beat. But Yondu, he's got summons, he's got a dispel, he's got a passive that he steals buffs and removes them. He's just a very good character and doing some nice damage on his AOE as well.
Yeah, I think Yondu's first of all, he's one of the first characters you get to farm. So I think that really helps him out. Like, I think a lot of players get acquainted with Yondu really early on in the game.
Day 1, you should be able to farm him. I mean, he's available on an early heroes node. And new players, Yondu, first character you should be seriously farming. Very, very good. In endgame, he's still going to be very, very viable and helping you out. So, Yondu, very good character. Other good character, number 2. Boom! Captain America. He got a little bit of a buff, and he was already a very, very good character. Now, his buff is, if you're not using him in a Shield or Avenger, actually just Avengers team, he actually starts to give energy to himself. So, theoretically, you could have that Inspire, which is his big move, where he gives taunt to himself, defense up to everybody, and gives energy to everybody. You could have that move going over and over and over with no cooldown. If he's giving that energy to himself. So very, very strong. Slight buff that he got in here, but I think that makes a difference to move him to 2, possibly even 1. I put him on 2 this month, and that might change next month. But Captain America, one of the best characters in the game, just got a little better. What do you have to say about him passing up Yondu this month?
I love Captain America. When I first started the game, I had the $10 Captain America pack, and some of you longtime viewers might know that I bought that as a show faith to Fox next. So I've been using him since the beginning, and he's always helped me. Not to mention the fact that he shields, so he helps with the Iron Man event, and he synergizes extremely well with the Avengers, which as a whole, the Avengers are one of the best factions in the game. So it's just he's like the cherry on top of the Avenger faction.
Yeah, he's what really makes that team work. Yeah, that's the arena meta right there on offense. You got a couple of the team right there. Hawkeye is arena meta offense. Captain America's arena meta offense. So you got some of that arena meta on this list right now. And yeah, really, really solid character. As soon as you can get Captain America, I recommend getting him. It's a little longer farm. You're not going to be able to farm him right away. But as soon as you could get him and start farming him, do it. You're gonna thank me for that if you haven't done that already, because he's one of the best characters in the game. Anything else on Captain America at number 2?
No, I think he has almost everything, so I think you've covered everything for him.
Yeah, solid character. All right, number 1, staying the same this month, Quake. One of the best characters in the game. She has a huge AoE that gives offense down. She has a basic best basic in the game by far, giving slow to the target and adjacent targets, and that is huge. We talked a little bit about that in your video on the tier list, but very solid. And then she's on her special, she has the dispel as well. So very good things with her. I mean, what else is there to say about her? Solid character. I mean, she does everything well. Every single one of her moves is not wasted. So this is a very good kit.
I think she's
a very good character.
Well, I think she's kind of like the what the peanut butter to Black Widow. If it was a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like the two of them, just like you speed up your team with Black Widow and you slow down the enemy team with Quake, and then you're running laps around the enemies. So she's awesome.
Yeah, once you get that going, I mean, there's not much the enemy can do. I mean, you're just kind of throwing them off and letting your team do their work, and the enemy's just not doing anything. I mean, I've played battles where Kingpin's never gotten his move off. I've played battles where Captain America's never done his Inspire, just because Black Widow and Quake work so well together. And if you time everything right with their stuns, you're getting characters that don't even get any moves off. I mean, Hulk's not gotten his move off sometimes at all. He's never taunted, just because they work so well together. And that's it. One character that fell off, though, I think we need to talk about her. Night Nurse. What are your thoughts on Night Nurse not being on this list this month? Because she is valuable for the raids, extremely valuable for the raids. Then I guess my reasoning of moving her off is I just don't use her at all outside of the raids.
I never use
like
her pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, outside of the raids, you need her for the raids, but outside of that, I just don't have a lot of value for her. That's why I took her off the list. But just because she's not off the list doesn't mean you shouldn't be farming her, especially if you're having trouble in the raids.
I think well, with her, I think it'd really help if maybe Night Nurse, that 50% chance to apply slow could maybe be a little higher or something like that in her basic attack. Because I think that'd be really interesting if she's kind of like doing her own thing. But again, she really lacks a lot outside of healing, and you're not necessarily needing healing in a lot of modes.
Yeah, other outside of maybe a certain campaign, and then the raids, obviously, there's not much you really use healing for in this game, because you're using a spot in your team, and you could be using it for someone that's doing a damage, that's controlling the other team. I don't know if I would want to use that spot for healing, and I haven't yet. So, is there anybody else that you feel should have been included on this list? Now, these are all farmable characters, so everybody that's hard to farm is going to be is not on the list. So Black Widow's not here. Doctor Strange is not here. A few other characters. Deadpool got taken off just because he's not farmable anymore. And anyone else that you feel should be on this list?
No, but I think two important notes to make for in the future if you're watching this video. This is pre-Thanos, Spider-Man, and Vision buff. We know that's coming. That's not out yet. And there are a lot of characters that are likely going to be farmable soon, like Vision, Black Panther, Doctor Strange. They are not farmable at the moment, so just keep that in mind for future reference whenever you're watching this video. At this time, those characters are not eligible for the list.
Yeah, I know there's a rumor because of a data mine of Black Widow coming. I'm not Black Widow, Black Panther coming to the arena store. If that happens, he will be farmable, and he probably will make this list. But as of us recording this, he is not in that store yet, so he's not farmable. Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that covers everything.
Unless you got anything. All right, guys. Well, that is the top 10 list for this month. Go out and farm them, guys. These are all good characters and will help you in one way or another. Just make your team better in Blitz. And then you got a bunch of the arena meta for offense and defense on this list as well, so it'll help you in arena. Unless you got anything else, tell everybody about your channel, Pa Pokeman, before we go.
If you guys want to know more about the entire roster in the game, Valley was on my channel and we did a tier list video, so feel free to check that out on my channel. I really enjoyed it. I was really happy to come on here. Thanks for having me, Valley.
Cool. Well, thanks for being on. I think this is like a monthly thing with your tier list, and then maybe I'll make you a monthly fixture on this top 10 list as well.
That'd be interesting.
Well, yeah, I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description, so make sure you check that out. He's got a bunch of content on Marvel Strike Force as well. Good stuff. That is it, though. Make sure you guys smash on that subscribe button. And if this video helped you as far as farming or was entertaining at the very least, hit that like button as well. Share it with your friends. And if you want to support the channel, there is a BlueStacks affiliate link down below. It doesn't cost you anything, but if you click on that link and install Marvel Strike Force on your computer, the channel gets a little bit of a credit. So just helps to support us. And I think that is it. I will see you guys next time. Valley Flying out.
See you guys.